Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Catholic Monarchist. I decided I think it'd be a good idea to start a series of episodes showing what my ideal hypothetical Catholic monarchy would look like, and concerning everything, structure, policies, because seeing as how that's the name of my channel, it should be something that I add as a staple to my channel and just learn as I go along and really put something that's feasible and makes sense together. So I decided, how about each episode that I make would focus on a particular type of issue. So, for example, immigration or the economy and many other things. And I'll give my own policies, if I was ruling it in every single one of these particular issues. So for today, I thought it'd be a good idea to discuss how this government would be structured. Now, to make things clear, this hypothetical is contingent on the idea that the church hasn't been infiltrated by Freemasons, Protestants, the chosen people, and who knows what other slimy creatures have slithered their way in. And so, to put it short, we're talking about a pre-Vatican II Catholic Church. All right. So, the type of monarchy I'm thinking would be something of a hybrid. I don't want a structure where there aren't any kinds of checks and balances. The beauty of a Catholic influence over the entire country is that as long as every part is guided by it, you will get a majority, not 100%, but a majority of people who will be decent folks and not fall into corruption. So, for instance, education. If most heads and most teachers are good people and will do their part to uphold Catholic teachings and values, then most kids will grow up with that. Whatever institution you get into that involves public governance or defense, rigorous educational and moral training will also come with it. Whether you're in government, the military, the public sector, etc., you have to show an aptitude in both knowledge of Catholic teachings and skill in that particular job or position. That way you show you have the moral and intellectual propensity to do your duty well. And as for the general structure of what this monarchy would look like, you'd start at the top, which is God. He is the ultimate head, the one who sets the rules and laws, the one everyone answers to. Next, you have, so it's God, next you have the church, whose duty is to establish those laws. Her duty concerning the secular realm is to make laws regarding ethics and morals, and to make sure that a government is following and enforcing them, and make sure that they're not trying to change or alter them either. Then, after that, you have the government, which answers to the church. Now we get to the interesting part, which is the makeup of the government itself. At the top, you have the monarch. He has the final say in any matter. Any official below him that makes a decision can be changed by his word. He is both the executive and the figurehead of the kingdom. No one person in the government can override his authority. Now, there are limitations that also come with this position. He can't just do whatever he wants, contrary to popular belief in today's understanding of a monarchy. He answers to God and the church. If he begins showing signs of becoming a tyrant, he will be warned. And these warnings will become more and more intense as his behavior goes that way, up to a point where if he really does become a true tyrant, then he must be removed from his position. And there will also be a lot to be expected of this monarch. He will have an upbringing of moral training from religious, intellectual training, and education, as well as governmental training. The more skills he can develop too, the better. With that kind of foundation, the hope would be that by his own will, this monarch will rule justly. But that doesn't mean there won't be safety measures put in place as well. Beneath this monarch are the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. Like the U.S. government, their duties are similar. The legislative branch makes the laws, the judicial branch interprets them, and then the executive branch enforces them. The people who would occupy the positions under these branches aren't voted in. That's a key point. But they apply for the positions. They go through a boot camp-like training and education, and then are picked by a council that consists of the monarch and church officials. So while I don't have a fully detailed outline of it yet, positions in these branches would include judges, local governors, senators, and various other ranks. The key is to try to give the regional officials, I believe, as much influence in the regions as possible, because ultimately they have a better pulse of the needs of their communities than a central ruler would. Now, back to the monarch. If I had to paint over the monarch's duties with a broad stroke, I would tell you that he is a figurehead. He represents the nation. He has the final say in political matters and can overrule decisions if he deems them unjust, stupid, or anything else of that nature. He doesn't get bogged down in all the small details of things, but will get involved in the matters of their government branches when there are general and highly influential decisions to be made. He's also part of the council that chooses people for governmental positions through a comprehensive process that judges their intellect, or intelligence, rather, and looks for testimonies of their moral behaviors. He is commander of all military branches, aside from maybe National Guard type forces that would be under local governors. The monarch himself, also due to the best education and physical training available, would be hopefully a skilled ruler, capable of being cool under pressure and being able to make strong moral decisions. All in all, this is a culture and society that must be defined by Catholic teachings and beliefs. So going back to when I said I'm Catholic monarchist, the monarchist part doesn't matter if the Catholic part is not there. That's primary. Monarchy is secondary. So religious, moral, and ethical rules are set in stone by the church, and the government must adhere to them. Their role is to enforce them and, if they wish, put their own personal touches on them so long as they're not in opposition to the church. For instance, it's not the job of the legislature to decide if abortion is legal or not. That's already closed case. It's immoral and illegal. However, they can decide how it can be punished. So the monarch and the rest of the government cannot make changes to morals, but they are responsible for putting together a system that enforces them. Another thing is that they have a lot of flexibility and influence where non-moral issues are concerned. So think the economy, or in some cases taxes. Those kind of things are more, how would you say, they're more natural to a secular government. And maybe not secular, since it is still a Catholic government, but a government can make its own decisions on matters like that without needing the church really to intervene. All right. So I know this is a very broad overview of everything. Frankly, I haven't put together a very detailed, comprehensive structure just yet. But I know as time goes on, this will slowly improve and a lot of holes will get filled in. And if you have anything to add in the comments, please do, because I know that the first draft is never the finished project or finished product. So any other opinions, I would like to hear them. I want this thing to be a well-oiled machine, a machine that first and foremost puts God first and helps its people aim for that ideal, and then for them to rule justly as well, fairly and justly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more of this. As long as time goes on, this, I think, is going to be a really fun project, and it's going to make a lot more sense. But for now, I'm just trying to get things started up, and then we'll get into policies, and that'll be interesting, especially with election season going on. So that's all I got for you today. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless. See you soon.